As much as we all love the docile tones of sleigh bells, it is time for more broadcasting. I realize now that when I put up the title of the stream, include in parentheses what I'm doing, because otherwise I just look like a guy who's like got somebody else's stream on and is watching music with a webcam in his home. It's like, hey guys, come watch me watch Twitch TV. It's so meta. But yeah, so a little bit of an update. I am a bronze level player. I am. The problem is I have a great understanding of the game. I am aware of that, but my mechanics are not great, and by actually executing the advice that I give and the calls that I make in the game, as it turns out, is much more complicated than actually just playing. I'm sorry, it's much less complicated than actually playing and executing the items themselves. So what that means is that I'm now in a promotion match. I am getting ready to be promoted from Bronze 4 to Bronze 3. And I gotta be honest, I am nervous as hell. I really want to do well. I really want to do a great job, but I'm so paranoid that I'm going to fall back down and I'm going to have like crappy teammates. And the fact is that they say, they say that there's no such thing as elo hell. You can actually carry. You can actually become so strong, regardless of who your teammates are, that you can really carry a team. And frankly, I disagree pretty heavily with that, because I've had some idiots ruin some pretty good games for me. If I'm 11-2 on Vayne and I lose, a lot of other things went wrong besides my performance. So, just give you a look into my life. This is my owl mug. He is a witch, or she is a witch. That is an owl in a Halloween costume. I love owls. I don't have my here we go. We have Sunny Outlook Owl right here. This is Sunny, the Sunny Outlook Owl. Come on, buddy. Turn your head. That's the Sunny Outlook Owl. He's like solar powered, and so he like moves his head back and forth. He's always like just surveying the land, and I'm happy to have him. But anyway, I love owls. My coffee mug is owls. My desk decorations are owls. I love owls. If you, Mom, if you're watching this, if you want to give me anything for Christmas, if it's owl related, I will never be unhappy about it. But anyway, we're taking a look at games tonight. We're doing some practice casting. We've already cast a couple games tonight. And if you've tuned in, thank you so much. So much. I know we had a couple of viewers earlier, and I appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate the kind words, and I appreciate your patronage more than you could possibly imagine. For somebody who averages 2 viewers, including myself and me watching my stream on the dashboard, it is super awesome to have people checking things out and taking a look at everything that's going on. So I'm happy to have you, happy to be casting and doing something and pursuing my passion, my dream of eventually becoming an esports caster. I wish my phone would quit disconnecting and reconnecting from the computer so that it stops making the noise. But anyway, happy to have you stopping by. Let me give you one more game of entertainment for the night, and then you can go ahead and count sheep to your heart's content. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and jump back into the client. Like I said earlier, if you're just joining me, my name's Ian Barker, a.k.a. Samuel. I'm doing what's called practice casting. So I go to the client, I look for a game that is pretty early on, and I try to, kind of analyze it, give the play-by-play as well as the color commentary. That's the most challenging part, actually, is giving both the play-by-play and the color commentary. And, just breaking down the game, trying to practice and hone my craft at becoming an esports caster. So maybe one day, Riot will notice something like this, and they'll hire me. Dreams do come true, so I've been told. I'm going to go for it. Anyway, taking a look at the lineups, it looks like we've got a lot of Platinum and Gold players. Should be a good game. We've got Jace, Rumble, Fiddlesticks, Lulu, and Caitlyn on one team. Not a lot of tanks in there, but plenty of AoE damage. Followed by Morgana, Sejuani, Lee Sin, Tristana, and Janna. Got a lot of crowd control, and a lot of CC, a lot of ability to stop people, lock them up, and keep them in place. So I'm going to give an early prediction. Oh, sorry, I want to give the player names. On the blue team, we have Great History, Sunspun, The Jungle Book, HTN Zombie, Nakshiki. And on the purple team, we have Riot Morgageddon. Riot Morgan. Oh, I wonder if he must be a writer. Trey, Wonderful, Kyorki, and Captain Zay. Let's take a look at the matchups. We've got Rumble versus Lee Sin up there at the top. In the jungle, we've got Sejuani versus, who is the jungle player for this team? Where can I find that? Oh, jungle Fiddlesticks. Okay, I thought there was a support Fiddlesticks. In the mid lane, we've got Jace versus Morgana. In the bottom lane, we've got Caitlyn versus Tristana, and Lulu and Janna supporting them. And if I'm going to give an early, just assessment of the team compositions, I really like the composition out of the blue team. I'm going to go against my typical pick of Sejuani as my favorite, therefore she beats everything, and go for the blue team simply because with Caitlyn's follow-up damage to the lockdown, fear, and AoE damage of Jace, Fiddlesticks, and a Rumble, I just feel like the blue team will have not only the right amount of initiation, but also the ability to put down quite a bit of damage onto a wide range of targets, and so I think that's going to play into their hands beautifully. Taking a look at the gold, it looks like it's about 5.3. It's about all knotted up. Hold that thought. Coming in, Drain actually onto Morgana as Fiddlesticks just trying to get that gank in the middle lane, but eventually just backing off, apparently not seeing her disappear into the vision. Jace blowing the flash, just trying to get the kill, but will not get actually the ignite. Does go down. Jace gets the first kill. Great opening play by Great History. Look at the CS, no major differences except Tristana is about 15 CS down compared to the Caitlyn. Caitlyn and Janna just Lulu putting down so much pressure, and there we go. The polymorph actually now coming out, just the picks being put onto Kiori, as well as the follow-up damage. And Nakashiki actually does manage to take down Janna, and there goes the Glitter Lance onto Tristana. So you're starting to understand why this lane is falling so far behind in CS, because frankly, this combination of Lulu and Caitlyn able to put down so much punish damage with the Piltover Peacemaker, the range from Caitlyn, as well as the Glitter Lance of Lulu. And Sejuani coming through the jungle wants to do something about this lane pressure, but ultimately a ward will spot her out, and Caitlyn will get away to the bush for safety. That's what she said. Jungle Book just going to continue jungling, and I'm curious to see how this Jace Morgana lane is going to work out, since frankly, Jace has so much more poke damage. We see the 3 kills to 0. The blue team's starting to take that advantage with their ability to distribute damage. You're curious how Morgana's going to be able to counter the constant poke of Jace, and I guess if she can get past the poke damage of Jace, but honestly, those acceleration shock blast hits are going to be so big that I question her ability to dodge the skill shots. I was going to say she could use lane pressure, but ultimately I feel like this is a losing lane for Morgana. We'll have to see how that develops. Taking a look at things down bottom, things have obviously swung the other direction as Lulu and HGC Zombie decided to back. But here we go. The lane pressure actually coming out of Janna and Tristana, trying to do what they can. I'm surprised the E from Janna not being more impactful. You guys are not seeing the game at all. This is my mistake. I'm going to go ahead and... There we go. If you want to see more great content like that, check out ianjbarker.weebly.com. You can see at the bottom of the screen. Check it out. That's where I put my editorial work for Cloth 5 as well as ES5 World. I don't put the full post on there, but I try to link it there, give you a little bit of a snippet so you could take a look at what articles you want to see, as well as my own personal blog. And then I'll put up some episodes of my new project that's coming out. You'll see that pretty soon. Wonderful. Going to put on some damage down onto Sunspun, but he's obviously going to have the Flame Spitter at his disposal to return some damage. Warm tea is the best thing on the planet. That attack, actually, the lock actually going down on a Great History, trying to put down what damage he can with a swirly thing of death, but the ultimate from Morgana actually will take her down, or take him down. Jadoran's Blades, actually, the AP is going to be quite a bit in this early game, so I'm starting to see how she could take down Jace is simply by getting in there, by keeping the lane pressured with that corrupt ground, and then just putting down the damage necessary and trying to defend the blue. Sunspine comes down here trying to do what he can, puts down the ultimate, but ultimately he will get knocked back. Sejuani and Lee Sin doing so much pursuit. The kickback actually keeping him just on the side of the map. The slow from Sejuani, but putting out so much damage to return the Flame Spit of Scrap Shield, keeping him alive just for a second, but ultimately Wonderful does take down Sunspine. A kill on Lee Sin. Not a bad place to put it. Pro tip, if you're drinking tea, I learned this from my brother who actually lives in China. If you're drinking tea and it's too hot, sip it right back to the back of your throat. That's actually the way that you're supposed to drink it when it's really hot. 3-3 kills, actually the Purple team working themselves back into this game in a big way, now taking about a 400 gold lead. Not major, but certainly significant considering the start that they had. And, finally, Janna and Tristana able to get some pressure down here as they're starting to be able to dodge the Glitter Lances, dodge the Builder for Peacemakers. Eventually, you start to learn to deal with your lane opponent and figure out and kind of tell and notice they're kind of tails. Pardon my stuttering, of course. Notice their tells as they broadcast their skill shots, things of that nature, and you're able to dodge them. But here we go. This is the problem. Lulu getting caught. Ultimately, will the Buster Shot come out? It does not, even though it was available. Putting down what damage they can. With the ultimate from HDN Zombie of ultimately going to keep her alive. And there we go, the Glitter Lance as well as the harassment from and Knock Shiki will eventually keep them alive. A good gank by Sejuani, but ultimately not resulting in anything for the blue or for the purple team. The blue lane able to ward it off nicely. Sunspin going to put down the equalizer onto Wonderful, putting the Flame Spitter as well, going to get kicked back, but so much damage is going down onto Wonderful. Ultimately, this Ignite going to do what damage it can, but the Harpoon's just barely missing Wonderful, keeping him alive just briefly. He's going to safeguard forward to the lane, trying to get some CS, but was that too greedy? The Flame Spitter doing so much damage. There goes the Harpoon, and there's the last auto attack, getting the kill for Rumble, and I got to say, I've never played Rumble, but I am impressed. And the ultimate actually misses from Sejuani, but the slow is there in the AoE. There we go. The attack's going down. The Crowstorm going to come out, launching just a little bit wide for the Jungle Book, but warding off Trey, ultimately getting some CS in the process and keeping Rumble safe. It paid its dividends for the use of the ultimate, but you have to wonder if that's really what they had in mind when he went in there. And if they thought they were going to be able to take down a tanky Sejuani, maybe their eyes were a little bit bigger than their stomachs. But we'll see how it works out for them. CS difference and major advantage for this Morgana in the middle, about 15. That Corrupt Grunt, what actually is that move called? Tormented Soil, that's correct. I used to be a major Morgana player. I used to play mid quite a bit. But anyway, that Tormented Soil going down, actually CSing so quickly, really pushing the lane and not giving the Jace the chance to operate. And that's the one thing about that matchup that I didn't consider before, is the fact that it's a melee champion. Well, in some respects, he is largely a range champion. And unfortunately, that one last minion does manage to take down the turret. The purple team losing this bot lane very briefly, and actually Tristana finding herself almost 22 CS behind. And there we go, actually Lee Sin getting a kill in the top lane. But Rumble will have something to say about this. Does he have the ultimate available? He does. Will the equalizer go down, beating them down as much as he can? The Flame Spitter coming out. There's the equalizer under Trey. The burn damage doing so much, it actually does take him down. The Scrap Shield will take the turret shots, and there goes the Flame Spitter taking down Lee Sin. Great stuff from Sunspine, absolutely dominating this top lane, getting 4 kills just on his opponents in lane. And there's the Ghost actually coming out of Rumble, trying to get to the back. I think he thinks he's being pursued. No, he's just going to try to get to the bush. The Ghost was maybe overkill, but we'll see. And here's the one thing. Both Great History and Morgana have the ability to push the lane, but somehow Morgana managing to get the advantage in the process. Curie and Captain Zay fighting a little bit of an uphill battle. Now that turret is gone. We don't see the rotation from the blue lane. They're just trying to keep try to keep the pressure on this purple lane, try to keep him missing CS. Frankly, it looks like it's working, because with a 22 CS difference in favor of Caitlyn, now getting that Vamp Scepter in the BF sword with the Vamp Scepter and Doran's Blades, as well as no boots for Tristana. She's finding herself at quite the disadvantage down here. Wonder if we're going to push this turret in the mid lane. They're actually going to send Morgana up top just to try to get a little bit of wave clear. They're going to push down this turret. It looks like they're going to be able to get it. It all depends on the Sejuani rotation there in the mid lane. It looks like Jace is going to push them back just in the nick of time. But down in this bottom lane, the Purple Out team have actually managed to equalize the turret pressure just a little bit. But here comes Sejuani, putting the fear down into Kira, getting the Buster Shot as well as the Howling Gale just for protection, just to back off Fiddlesticks. Fiddlesticks has become one of those god tier solo queue champions just because of his ability to walk in and disable. And suddenly all those escape mechanisms that you have on your buttons are no longer valid. And that can become a big problem when you're trying to keep a squishy 80 carry safe. But hold that thought. Sunspine actually wants to come in here and challenge this, and Sejuani not really caring. There was the equalizer down under Trey. Trey actually will get the spell shield from Morgana, and Morgana actually putting down the ultimate, wants to stay, but Trey actually wants to get out, and eventually no kills go down, except for the Morgana getting maybe a little too big for his britches. But here we go. The Drain actually coming out of Fiddlesticks, stopping Wonderful's plans to the counter gank. There we go. The flash across the wall. There goes the Hurricane, as well as the ultimate smackdown dunk from Great History. What is that? What the fuck is that move called? And of course, he transforms away. Folks, I promise, if you're following along at home, I have a little game where every time I forget the name of a move of a champion that I've never played before, you take a shot. And so at this point, you're probably taking about 2 or 3 shots because it's getting late in the night. But I promise I am actively trying to learn these champions kit as much as possible, making flashcards, stuff like that, trying to improve and make this cast better for you and better for these players as well. They deserve to be told, or their tales deserves to be told as accurately as possible, and so I'm going to do my best to do that for them. Eight for the kills in favor of the blue team. 14 minutes and 24 seconds into the game. 20k gold to 17k gold. Exactly a 3k gold differential in favor of the blue team, largely fueled by these blue turrets. And now the map advantage, now with the map objective, or with the map control, I should say. The blue team will take the dragon, and suddenly that becomes a 4k gold lead. The blue team doing a great job. This team composition just really favoring them. I feel like the single target ability of the purple team is useful. But until that Tristana becomes that late game nightmare, her damage contribution is just negligible. And frankly, some questionable decisions by Trey, especially like that one there to run back in the court or against 4, mid-health enemies, regardless of whether they're mid-health or not. Seeing that rotation from Wonderful should not have been enough to tell her to pull the trigger. Ultimately, it's just the decision making from the junglers is not quite what we saw in the last game when we were watching Diamond tier players. Suddenly Rumble finding himself in a lot of trouble. There we go. The Tormented Soil as well as the ultimate knocking him down quite a bit. There goes this kick as well as the safeguard back onto it. But the scrap shield as well as the boost will get him away. The ghost getting him out of there. Barely keeping himself alive. And how much health is actually on Rumble? A mere 176, but it was less than that earlier. And there we go. The smackdown, the thundering blow by Great History, changing into that Mercurial Hammer, trying to put down what damage he can, just wants to get Wonderful. The damage, or the shield going onto him barely just for a second. There goes the AoE damage, but here we go. Trey making a great decision, getting back on a Great History. He actually will flash back out of the way. Noxush just trying to put down what damage he can, and finally gets Captain Zay down to a minimal level. There goes the Crowstorm, only catching one, really, but ultimately it gives the lane presence and the momentum to the blue team as now the support is trying to rally his troops to take down the mid turret. And this is something that you don't see in Diamond level play. You don't see the pings for the turrets because everybody, understands what their objective is, what they need to do in order to obtain what they can get, considering the advantage that they've just carved out, and they just go for it. Trey going to try to make a difference here. Actually flashes into the middle. Shin Zombie going to knock him up with his ultimate. The Wonderful just trying to do what he can, but he gets polymorphed. Wanders back into the crowd. Going to safeguard away to Trey back behind the turret. And with Sunspun now damaging down Tristana, you start to wonder where the answers is going to come from for this purple team. They find themselves almost 4.5k gold down, with his turtle now almost be 5k gold down. And with the disable capabilities as well as decision making like that out of this blue team, suddenly things are just looking really favorable. And Nox Shiki just trying to keep away, HN Zombie trying to peel for her while she can. And there we go. Tormented Soil will burst him down, or her down. She got to put him down the Howling Gale just to keep Fiddlesticks out. And it looks like things have equalized a little bit. It's a good thing to see because ultimately we don't want to see a blowout. We want to see a good game. And 4k gold up, 2 turrets up, 4 kills up is not the makings of a good game. So the purple team need answers. That Morgana recall is horrifying. I heard that sound coming through my headset, and that was the most terrifying thing just ever. Here goes the kick back onto Wonderful, trying to take it a duel against Fiddlesticks, but he's ultimately just going to wander around behind the bush. Will it be enough? He's going to try to use the vision to his advantage. There we go. There goes the auto attack from the jungle bush, wandering into the woods. And there we go. There goes the ground pummel by Lee Sidney. Will be able to stay alive, but in the meantime, and a couple kills in the middle. Apologize for my casting, folks. It is getting late, but now Fiddlesticks just trying to get the kill, and actually still does manage to get away. So that was just an absolutely fascinating duel. But now that Fiddlesticks is caught all by his lonesome, will fear away Trey. There goes the spell shield, and will throw out the ultimate. Gets the soul, but does not ultimately get the lockup. Suddenly the jungle folk finding himself very much in trouble, and there we go. Tormented Soul getting the red buff back from Fiddlesticks, but here comes Makshiki. The lock barely misses, and here we go. The damage from Sejuani as she finally starts to find her ultimate form, doing a lot of damage, but there's the Shock Blast Acceleration Gate from Great History, taking him down, and here we go. The Maelstrom, is that what that's called? Lightning field. There we go. I'm learning all the time. The blue team now find their rotation up top, benefiting them as they can now take this tower. And he's just going to face take it. It only needs one shot, and he does get 150 gold for that. Trey hiding in the wings, trying to get a kill on the blue team if they can. Lee Sin trying to take the jungle in the meantime. Will safeguard, ward safeguard across to safety. No need to burn that flash. And here we go. Lightning field again coming out. Just trying to wave clear for this Jace. Jace coming around the end, will come around back into this turret, but in the meantime, the split push coming down bottom from Captain Zion Curie. But you have to wonder if this is the reason that they're losing the turret up at the top. You give away your 2 of your damage dealers as well as a support peel and disengage option. Suddenly, the turret falls, and you find yourself down 4 turrets to 1. Was it worth it? And for this caster's money, the answer is no.
Purple team's turret has been destroyed. Purple team's turret has been destroyed. Purple team's turret has been destroyed. Purple team's inhibitor has been destroyed. Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
I guess I've been talking with my mic off this whole time, so I'm just going to catch you up. Blue team good, purple team bad, but doing better. The blue team now aggressing up, trying to clear out the jungle, trying to make their presence felt. They're trying to take away all avenues of escape and maneuverability for the purple team. The purple team now going to wander out into dangerous territory. The shock blast coming out into the middle of the lane. The blue team thinks that the Baron is their answer, and I'm not certain why. Frankly, I think that the Baron is a silly item to take. There are no wards here, so maybe they think they can sneak it, but ultimately these desperation plays are not needed by the blue team. The purple team are the ones that need to do this, and it looks like they will back off Baron ultimately, and suddenly the purple team getting extremely overextended. They want to take this fight, but do they have the superior team fight to do it? There goes the Rumble ultimate down into the middle of the lane. There goes the Crow Storm from Fiddlesticks, going to melt this team. Morgana using the Zonias just to keep her alive for another half a second. The Piltover Peacemaker will ultimately take her down, and blue team with barely any health lost, Jace with a triple kill, are going to take this over. There's the Shock Blast Acceleration Gate, as well as the Thundering Hammer and the Lightning Field, coupled with the Bullseye from Caitlyn. Will finish this one off as the purple team surrenders. 28 minutes and 33 seconds into the game, and who could blame him, frankly? 12 kills to 24 in favor of the blue team. 8k gold, 5 towers. At the end of the day, this just came down to better execution by the blue team. The purple team felt like they had a lot of great weapons in their pocket. The Morgana's a strong mid, Tristana's a good bottom, and Lee Sin's a fun top. Sejuani's got the lockdown to be able to allow them to pursue and get some kills. But ultimately, it was just overextensions, and that's the one problem I do see with Lee Sins on amateur players is that, at lower tier players, is that we tend to think that we can be a hero. And actually, I wrote a blog post about this recently. We tend to think that we can be a hero and do incredible insect-level things without actually... If for those of you who don't know, Insect is a professional player for KT Bullets over in Korea. They recently played in the semifinals. I won't go ahead and spoil what happened there, but know that he's just a very talented player. But ultimately, players like Sejuani and Lee Sin are the kind of bronze players that you see a lot, especially when you're losing. When people are winning, they tend to play better, I think, simply because the flow of the game favors them in general. There are less mistakes to make when you have more map control and things of that nature. You can fight the uphill battle, and you've got fed enough that you have the tools to actually fight that up, or to get to the high ground and secure the objectives. But ultimately, the purple team, there was a matter of panicking. They fell 12 kills behind, and instead of being patient, they tried to overextend in the mid lane. They paid for it with their lives instead of using the extra damage from the turrets to assist them in getting some wins of their own. And ultimately, forced to surrender. And that's a shame. You like to see these games played out, but ultimately, if I was the purple team, I couldn't say that I would blame them. GG. I appreciate you stopping by. If you happened upon my stream for the first time tonight, welcome. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. If you're a regular viewer, thank you for returning. I hope that I'm delivering a product that you enjoy and that you get a kick out of, because frankly, I'm having a lot of fun doing this. I hope you're having just as much fun watching it. Again, if you want to see my other work, go ahead and check out the website down there, ianjbarker.weebly.com. That'll have all my articles from ESFI World, the great folks over at ESFI World, as well as the wonderful folks over at Cloth5. I enjoy writing for both of them so far. They're great people. I'll have some more. I'll put up some more videos there. I'll probably post the first two games of the night. Just to keep them around for posterity's sake, as well as probably this one. It had some mistakes at the beginning, but I'm better off to have a little bit of archival footage just so I can tell what I need to improve on it, so people have some extra content to view. That is actually going to do it for me. If you want to check out the website and find more content, if you want to leave your contact information, make any requests, if you like what I do and you want somebody to commentate your tournament, I would be happy to do that. I would be absolutely humbled by that. I'm just looking for the opportunity to ply my trade, have a lot of fun, and entertain some folks, no matter who they are. So let me know if you if that's something you would like. The contact info is up there on the website. And if you just want to stop by and say hi, just check things out, I would love that as well. Just seeing one more viewer on my Google Analytics account makes me super excited. I get really happy about that. Thanks for joining us. I'll probably be casting again later this week, but in the meantime, I want you to have a great night. Enjoy your tea. I'll see you folks next week. This has been Practice Casting with Ian J. Barker, aka Samuel, signing off. Oh yeah.